Hello students, I welcome you all at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. Students, my name is Kiran Chaudhary and I am your NEET biology experts. My dear friends, on board the invincible chariot of Infinity Learn and make your NEET preparation journey a cakewalk and emerge as a leader. Talking about today's session, students, in today's session, we'll talk about the best strategy for NEET biology. I'm going to reveal some of the secrets related to NEET biology. Are you excited? You should be. Let's get started. Now, before I start my session, I would like to ask one question. That is, here it goes. Are you struggling with biology? Yes, students. Are you? Think. Yes, I know most of you do struggle at biology. But students, today I am going to reveal 3 super easy techniques that will help you to make your NEET biology preparation smooth. Excited to know what are these 3 techniques? Let's get started. The first one is, students, create an eidetic memory. Yes, so I know this word will be little bit fancy for most of you. Let me crack it or make it simple for you. What is eidetic memory, students? Eidetic memory is actually a photographic memory. It is a photographic memory. Now see, students, let me keep this eidetic memory term in simple sentence. Eidetic memory means when you convert text, yes, the plain text of NCERT biology, for example, when you convert the plain text into images, that's exactly what eidetic memory means. And we all know that recalling images is far more easy, right? So what I want to say here is, try to convert the text of biology that is there either in your notes or in your NCERT textbooks into images. That will help you to remember those facts, those important points and processes for a longer period of time. You will be able to retain that memory not only for your exam but also later. Okay, now I would like to give one more example to prove my point here, a very relatable one. Students, आप सब लोगों ने मूवी तो देखी ही होगी. I really hope all at some point of time, even if you are not a movie fan. तो जब आप एक मूवी देखते हैं, for example, अगर मान ले कि मूवी 2 to 2.5 hour की है, तो मूवी देखने के बाद अगर आपका फ्रेंड या कोई भी एक्स पर्सन आपसे मूवी की डिटेल्स पूछता है, तो वो मूवी जो आपने बस एक ही बार देखी है, फिर भी आप उस मूवी की डिटेल्स बहुत ही आसानी से एक के बाद एक प्रॉपर सीक्वेंस में बता देते हैं. कौन सा कैरेक्टर कब इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था, कौन से कैरेक्टर का किस कैरेक्टर्स के साथ क्या रिलेशन है और उसको मूवी में या मूवी के दौरान कब किस पॉइंट पे इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था, राइट? तो कभी सोचा है कि मूवी जब आप देखते हैं तब एक ही बार देखते हैं लेकिन फिर भी आपको इतना कुछ याद रहता है, बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट बायोलॉजी, आज क्लास में पढ़ा, कल भूल गए, एग्जाम तक तो याद ही नहीं रहता, राइट? सो एग्जैक्टली यही आपको सोचना है स्टूडेंट्स कि डायरेक्टर करता क्या है. डायरेक्टर एक्चुअली प्लेज विथ योर eidetic मेमोरी. तो जो भी फैक्ट्स या जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन डायरेक्टर को देनी होती है, वो क्या करता है, वो उसे फोटोजेनिक फॉर्म में आपको प्रोवाइड करता है. आप उसे देखते हैं और एक बार देखने पर ही वो आपको याद हो जाता है और लंबे समय तक याद रहता है. तो यही स्टूडेंट, दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट यू शुड डू for your NEET biology preparation. That is why I introduced this point, that create eidetic memory. Try to convert the text of NCERT book as well as your notes into images, into photographs. Only then you will be able to retain it for a longer period of time. Interesting, isn't it? Yes. Now I will also give you one example of an eidetic memory image, right? See here. What is this? This is a beautiful image of plant. See, I can relate with which chapter if you ask me. In 11th class NCERT textbook students, there is a chapter known as morphology in flowering plant. So ideally most of the students find it boring and find it difficult to memorize those points. So what you can do? What you can do is try to create an image, or you can even create image for a topic or subtopic, like for leaves separately, for flower separately, for stem and root separately, or even for a better understanding, for better memory retention, you can convert the entire chapter into a single image also, and that's exactly what I have done in this image. Now see here, what is this? This is a beautiful image where the entire flowering plant or a woody flowering plant is mentioned or shown, and here as you can see what this is what the root part, the stem part, the leaf part, the flower, the fruit. What is this? In this way I have actually tried to explain what the entire chapter into a single image. Now tell me, it is easier to remember all the information on one image or on one page, or 10 to 15 pages as they are given in NCERT textbook? I hope you are smart enough to judge that. I hope I made my point quite clear over here. Okay, we'll move to the next technique now. Okay, this is also important. This is something most of you do not realize. Yes, what it is? Break your biology hours. And what do I mean by saying breaking your biology hours? See students, as a teacher, like over 8 years, I have experienced or seen students, they study biology continuously for 4 to 5 hours daily, thinking that biology actually makes 50% of your paper, so it should, like, you should give lot of importance to biology, daily study 4 to 5 hours. So that's exactly not the case. That's not true. Let me enlighten you today students that although biology makes 50% of your paper, but you should not continuously study it for 4 to 5 hours. It's not going to give you any benefit. Rather, what you should do is you should break your study hours. How you can do that? Like for example, ideally you can study for minimum, for example, for minimum 30 minutes to 45 or say 50 minutes maximum. Okay, take this lot, 30 to 50 minutes, maximum 50 minutes you should study biology. For example, today I can say anatomy is taught in your class, or like for example anatomy of root is taught in your class. So come home and try to revise it in a slot of 30 to 50 minutes. For example, if you are not able to complete, then do not sit with it and try to complete it. No, what you should do, you should study for 50 minutes. What all you can cover in that, it's okay, and if you can't, then move on. Move on means take a little break and then change your subject. You were studying biology right now you can study physics or you can study chemistry. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Remember students, like this is a research where the scientists have proved that when you need to memorize any subject, for example, when we come to biology, after understanding a particular topic in class, what you need to do? You need to remember the facts, the points related to that subject or topic or chapter, right? So ideally you should give short, or your study or in your schedule you should give like shorter duration. You should take shorter duration when you are aiming for memorizing things, right? And ideally you should give long time to when it comes to practicing questions, right? Solving numericals, etc. So when you are doing actually physics numericals or physical chemistry or organic chemistry, at that point of time, if you can take 2 to 3 hours with little breaks, that is ideally advisable, but not when you do biology. So break your biology hours, do it from 30 to 50 minutes. That will help you to retain the information for a longer period of time. Otherwise क्या होगा, आज आप लोगों ने 4 से 5 घंटे एक टॉपिक को कवर करने की कोशिश की और अगले दिन आप फिर भूल जाओगे. So what? It's a waste of time and energy. So don't do that. Your brain doesn't allow to work like this. Okay, so that's what I wanted to explain in this point. Okay, next technique that I want to explain is, avoid learning and practicing at the same time. Why am I introducing this point, students? Try to think like this, students. You need to challenge your brain. Until and unless you challenge your brain, you will not be able to utilize the maximum or utilize your brain to that maximum level in your exam. So challenges are important to train your brain, right? And what I mean by those challenges over here, see students, for example today, talking about biology, for example today in class I taught you like respiration, right? Cellular respiration chapter, right? Or a subtopic under cellular respiration. So what you can do today, whatever I have taught, for example I taught glycolysis in the class, so go home and revise glycolysis, but do not solve the questions or practice sheet on cellular respiration on the same day. Try to do it on the next day without revising it, right? Why am I saying this? Because today you have revised it, today you have just like freshly went through all those concepts and points. So tomorrow when you will sit with the numericals, or sorry, I mean to say when you will sit with the MCQs without revising it, you will put pressure on your brain to recall what you have studied the earlier day. So that's exactly what I wanted to make a point over here is, if you want to retain the points of biology, the facts of biology for a longer period of time, avoid learning, revising and practicing at the same time. Do try this and let me know whether it works for you or not. Please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so these are the 3 important techniques that would help you to retain biology for a longer period of time. Now next is what? Next I want you to answer one more thing, that is, yes, tell me the mistakes you do most often while preparing for your NEET examination. Anyone? Okay. Students, let me tell you the most common mistakes students do while preparing NEET examination, so that after knowing these mistakes, I really hope you people won't repeat that, right? Let's start with the very first one. See students, as you can see on the boards, there are the 5 I am going to talk about. Let me come on the very first one, is not updating your study habits with time. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example over here. When you are in 10th standard, students, when you are in 10th standard, you have one book, that is the NCERT book, and in this book there is physics, chemistry and biology, and you aim for one exam, that is the 10th board exam. So practicing, understanding, memorizing the facts in one book will help you to crack board exam. Now when you start preparing or aiming for NEET examination, there's a huge increase in the syllabus, Here you have separate books for physics, separate books for chemistry and separate book for biology. And let me enlighten you students, if you are in 11th standard or if you are about to start your 11th standard, let me tell you, in 11th class there are 2 physics books, there are 2 chemistry books and 1 biology, and same goes in the class 12th standard. 2 books for physics, 2 books for chemistry and 1 book for biology. So in all, if I talk only about the textbook, there are 10 books. 10 books you need to study for your single exam, that is NEET. Can you understand? And this is the simple textbooks. If you go higher, like there are in every subject there are 2 exemplars that is also published by NCERT, and then if you study in some kind of institute, you will have reference books also. So can you understand the amount of syllabus that you need to cover in order to crack NEET examination? Yes, that's exactly what I want you to feel right now. So students, when you are 11th, 12th or even later, there is actually a tremendous increase in your syllabus, So if you will continue with the same study habits that you had in your 10th standard, you won't be, I'm sorry to say students, you won't be able to crack NEET examination. You got to change your study habits. I hope I made my point clear over here. Next is, yes, you should not avoid the regular tests, like for example test after every 15 days, right? If you keep on avoiding tests, you won't be able to make your preparation smooth. You will lose on concepts, lose on chapters, because it's a continuous process, students. You cannot take breaks like this. Breaks like avoiding one test, what will happen? Skipping 2 tests, what will happen? What will happen, you will ultimately come to know when you are appearing for your NEET examination. So students, इतना इंतज़ार क्यों करना? आपको तब रियलाइज़ होगा जब आप एग्ज़ाम दे रहे होगे कि मुझे ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था, मुझे टेस्ट स्किप नहीं करने चाहिए थे। ये टेस्ट ही मुझे रिवीजन करने के लिए, पढ़ने के लिए मोटिवेट करते हैं। तो गलती का एहसास अगर आपको एग्ज़ाम के अंदर होगा तो वो रिपेयर नहीं हो पाएगा। तो बेटर है आज मेरे से ये सलाह लीजिए और इस एडवाइस को अपने साथ रखिए कि डू नॉट अवॉइड द टेस्ट, राइट? अदरवाइज आपको रियलाइज तब होगा जब आप और ना मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, राइट? नेक्स्ट इज पेंडिंग डाउट। यस स्टूडेंट्स, यू शुड अवॉइड पेंडिंग डाउट्स। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज मैंने आपको कुछ पढ़ाया, आपको डाउट आया, आज पूछ लीजिए या कल पूछ लीजिए या परसों पूछ लीजिए, बट ऐसे 1 महीने के आप डाउट्स कलेक्ट करेंगे तो आपके लिए भी उन्हें मेंटेन करना प्रॉब्लमैटिक हो जाएगा, बिकॉज ये डाउट्स ही होते हैं जिसकी वजह से यू आर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व 1 or 2 क्वेश्चन इन द पेपर, देन दैट 1 or 2 increases day by day, weeks by weeks and months by months, and that will actually cost you in your NEET exam. So don't do that. Next, yeah, most of you are in this wrong notion, students, that if you attend the class, if you take the class, your preparation will be done. No, that's not the scene, students. Whatever I will teach in the class, you can understand that. But in order to crack that examination, you need to remember also whatever I taught you in the class. So very important. For example, if you're taking class for 2 to 3 hours or 4 hours, your own study hours should be like 5, 6 or 7 ideally. Only then you'll be able to crack exam, because until and unless you practice what the teachers are teaching in the class, nothing will change. Okay, I hope you got this point. नेक्स्ट इज लैक ऑफ रिविजन। यस, ये तो बहुत ज़रूरी है। अगर आप रिविजन ही नहीं करेंगे तो फिर तो आप किसी भी टाइप का सपना मत लीजिए, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आप एक बुक पढ़ते हैं, राइट, या आप ऐसे एग्जाम्पल लीजिए, यू आर स्टडिंग फॉर द नीट एग्जामिनेशन एंड यू हैव स्टडीड 10 books बट यू फेल टू रिवाइज देम, कुछ काम नहीं आएगा। रिविजन इज द की टू सक्सेस, राइट? और एक और बात मैं यहाँ पर कोट करना चाहूँगी, स्टूडेंट्स हिंदी में कहते हैं कि नोटबुक में रखा हुआ ज्ञान और दूसरों की जेब में रखा हुआ पैसा कभी वक्त पड़ने पे काम नहीं आता है। तो बेटर यही होगा कि ज्ञान नोटबुक की बजाय आपके दिमाग में होना चाहिए, तभी वो आपको एग्ज़ाम वाले दिन काम आएगा। आई होप समझ में आ गया होगा आपको कि मैं बोलना क्या चाहती हूँ, राइट स्टूडेंट्स? These are the common mistakes I wanted to tell you so that you don't repeat or commit them in your NEET preparation journey. Next is what, students? Next I want to discuss some challenges. Yes, this is also important. आप लोगों को ध्यान होना चाहिए या रियलाइजेशन होना चाहिए, एहसास होना चाहिए कि आपने ये जो सपना पाला है, राइट, नीट एग्ज़ाम क्रैक करने का, डॉक्टर बनने का, तो ये जर्नी लंबी है, राइट? दिस जर्नी इज़ लॉन्ग। इफ़ यू आर 11th क्लास स्टूडेंट्स, ये जर्नी 2 साल की है। इफ़ यू आर 12th क्लास स्टूडेंट्स, ये जर्नी 1 साल की है। और अगर आप 12th की बात करें तो भी 1 साल की है। 1 साल या 2 साल अपने आप में एक बहुत लंबा टाइम होता है। तो इस दौरान बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस आएंगे जो आपकी जो प्रिपरेशन है उसको अफेक्ट करेंगे। सो आप बाद में रियलाइज़ करें, उससे पहले ही मैं आपको इन सारी चीज़ों के, इन सारे चैलेंजेस से फेस टू फेस करवाना चाहती हूँ। I want you to realize that these are the challenges that you will face. Talking about the first, yes, low performance. You cannot be a performer every time. Even if you are topper, you cannot top each and every test, right? So do not get excited with your top ranks or your top performance, and do not get demotivated or like extremely sad or distressed when you get low rank or you're not able to perform that good. Okay, try to keep a balance. The second point is peer and parents pressure. Yes, that will always be there. Your friend is scoring that, or your parents will say that this and this student or this and this member of your, your relative is scoring this and that. So do not get affected until and unless the D-Day is there. ओके सो एक आध टेस्ट की परफॉर्मेंस से आपकी लाइफ चेंज नहीं होगी, आपकी लाइफ तब चेंज होगी जब आप लास्ट दिन, एग्जाम वाले दिन परफॉर्म करेंगे, वही दिन आपकी लाइफ का डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर बनेंगी। तो पीयर एंड पेरेंट्स प्रेशर से ज़्यादा डिफ्लेक्ट ना हो, ज़्यादा डेविएट ना हो अपने ट्रैक से। थोड़ा बहुत अफेक्ट तो करेगा ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज यू ऑल आर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, बट ट्राई टू कीप योर सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड। नेक्स्ट इज यस, या as I told you, it's a long journey students. So very importantly, जब जर्नी लंबी होती है तो मोटिवेशन को हाई रखना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, right? Yes, and that's exactly where I'm going to help you the most students. I'll make sure that your motivation is high during your whole preparation of NEET, right students? One more thing I want to say students, that the track will be laid, students. Vision will be established. Support will be given. Have faith and start following me. And by the time you realize, you will already be in a premier medical college. That's what I wanted to explain in today's session, students. Thank you. And if you like me, do not forget to give me a thumbs up, and obviously do not forget to subscribe Infinity Learn, and do not forget to hit the bell icon for the notification. Thank you students.